Well, anyways, did everyone write this blue sentence on the second column where it says, I can, your objective, okay? Your objective every day is 5 points, and then the actual warm-up itself is 15 points. Calculator. So you can get 20 points a day, 5 days a week, 100, right? Easy 100 every week. Now, make sure you're on time. Where were you at?
I was in the auditorium for the senior.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. It's like there's a 10-minute window between the first person from the senior assembly and then you. Where else did you go?
I went to the restroom.
Oh, okay. All right. So, everyone should have done the warm-up. All right. So what do we do on number 1? How do we tell what function it is? Okay. We start doing the bird beaks, right? We find the common difference, if there is a common difference, right? By the way. So, again, it's bottom minus top, bottom minus top, bottom minus top. So 4 minus 2 is 8 minus 4.
2.
All right, so you can already tell it's not linear, right? Keep going. 16 minus 8. 32 minus 16 is 16. So these first differences are not all the same, so not linear. Let's try the second difference. So find the difference of the differences. Bottom minus top. So 4 minus 2. 2. 8 minus 4. 4. So I can already tell it's not the same. 16 minus 8 is 8. So if the first difference isn't the same, it's not linear. If the second difference isn't the same, it's not quadratic. So even though we could do process of elimination, let's make sure, because it could be neither, right? Okay, so let's do some dividing. So let's find a common ratio, right? So 4 divided by 2 is 2. You're right. And then 8 over 4. Hey, so far so good. 16 over 8. It is 2. Look at that. 32 over 16 is also 2. So they all have the same common ratio. Okay? And if you have a common ratio, it is exponential. All right? Wake up. All right, so number 2. What do I do first? Bird beak. All right, so 1 minus 0, 1. 4 minus 1, oh, not linear. 9 minus 4, 5. 16 minus 9 is 7. So first difference isn't the same. It's not linear. Let's do the second difference. 3 minus 1, 2. 5 minus 3, hey. 7 minus 5, hey. Our second difference is the same, like a second power is x squared, that is quadratic, yeah? Now, you should have 4 warm-ups with 4 objectives, okay, so far. If you ever miss a day, you can always get them off the YouTube videos on the Google Classroom. I started posting in there, okay? But if you're absent, you can just write absent. That's another thing, okay? And if you were like, skip it for 10 minutes, write that down. All right. Actually, don't do that. All right, so I'm going to pass these out. So we're going to do some notes because tomorrow you're going to do an assignment on this. Now, this could be kind of confusing, so make sure you pay attention. Also, I will not be here tomorrow because they're making me do a little meeting. Oh, by the way, we have a sub for Mr. Herrick. Yes.
Mrs. Billington.
All right, Mrs. Billington. Give her a warm welcome. That's not a warm welcome. Say hi, Miss Billington. Thank you. Has it been 10 minutes? Okay, well, let me check. Because we can't break these rules ever, so. All right, go ahead. All right. So everyone's got the notes for 1.4. So, that'll be all right. So again, we're doing 1.4 notes today. Listen. Hey, we're going to do 1.4 notes today because tomorrow it's going to be 1.4 assignment. Okay? All right, so here we go. Headphones and no headphones, please. Okay, so here we go. Our goal is that we're going to be able to write the composite of two functions. Do y'all know what composite means? Same. I think you may have heard this in like science, like composite rock or something. I don't know. It's not? Okay, let's find out. See if I can find composite rock. Composite rock. Composite genesis. Composite rock types.
What the hell?
Oh, actually, no, never mind. That's something else. All right, everybody, focus. So, we are going to the next slide here. So, in that top rectangular box, blank box, you're going to fill in these 4 steps. Or sorry, you're going to fill in this information about composite functions. Now, you see these little, do y'all know what these are called? Okay, the Russian dolls. Headphones, right? So, Russian dolls, speaking of headphones, okay, Russian dolls are kind of like this. You put something in something else, and you close it. That's what you're doing today with functions. You're putting one function into another function. Okay, so kind of like the dolls here. Let's go ahead and write this down. Given 2 functions, an f function and a g function, you can make a composite function where you're putting one inside the other. You notate it like this. It kind of looks like fog x, but that's not really an O. It's like a little circle. That means composite. But you can call it fog if you want. The way you say it is f composed with g or f of g. The f function is outside and the g function is inside. So you can make sure you write that down, please. Ow. Not a fan. No, we're doing notes. You're writing too big. How are you going to fit all that in there? You can't. Why don't you try? Like, just barely move it. All right, so the function, composition of functions, where you put one function in front into the other function. Do you see how g of x is inside of the f parentheses, right? So f of g of x means g of x is inside of f of x, okay? F is outside, g is inside. Moving on. Oh. Y'all saw my sign? My sign? My teacher with your sign? Oh. Remember 7th period? When I won? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I'm talking about the John Cena one. All right. Except it wasn't. Except it wasn't. All right, so steps to find a composite function. Step 1. Okay, easy. Copy it down. So if you have a function, you're going to copy the outside function. Okay, so if it's f of g, then you write down the f function. Okay? But step 2, after you write that, you're going to erase something. Okay? You're going to remove the x. You can either rewrite it without an x, or you can erase the x. And then step 3, once x is gone, substitute the inside function where x was. So if it's f of g, the g will go where the x was. And your last step is to simplify. So on these examples at the bottom, we're going to follow these 4 steps. And that's what you're also going to do tomorrow on the assignment. And you'll be able to do it without me because you're going to learn it all right here, right now, right? No one's going to slack because of a sub or have another senior meeting during. All right. Are we good? Next slide. Okay, I know it's kind of small, but you can see it on your page, okay? So when you write, you don't kind of write small in that space down there, but we want to compute the composition f of g of x, okay? So here's my f function, here's my g function. What is step 1? What did it say? Copy the outside function. Which one's outside, f or g? F, okay? F is on the outside, G is going into F, okay? So the one on the left, this is my outside function. Go ahead and write down your f of x equals 3x plus 5. That's your first step. You might want to write small because you're going to end up writing some steps below it. And then, what's step 2? What? What'd you say? Remove the x, right? Who wants to remove their x? I'm kidding. Don't say that. Don't say that. All right. So remove the x means you could either erase it or you can just rewrite it without an x. So write it like this, okay? Below it, just go ahead and put a blank there, okay? F blank equals 3 blank plus 5, okay? And that's the end of our notes. No, I'm kidding. All right. So step 2, rewrite it without the x. Got a nice blank spot there that you can write something else in later, okay? And then step 3, what are we going to do? Hey, we're going to substitute. All right. Can read. All right. So check it out. This is what it looks like, okay? The inside function is at f or g. Which one's inside? G. So the g of x, this thing is going to go right there. And whatever it equals is going to go right there. You are replacing the x's with your inside function. Okay? So for step 3, it's going to look like this. F of g of x equals 3 times 10 plus 5. Do you see how the x's get replaced by the inside function, the g of x? Now, your last step, step 4 that you wrote down, is simplify. So can you simplify this side using PEMDAS? Parentheses, exponent, multiply, add, subtract, right? You can 3 times 10 plus 5, what do I get? 35. So f of g of x, the composition function, f of g, some call it, is 35. That's it. If you follow those steps closely, you'll be all right. Okay. So let's do the same thing with example 2. Okay. So everyone's good on this one. Okay, example 2, ready? Now, what's a little bit different about this one? There's squares and square roots, but what is it asking you to compute? Compute what? G of f. Now, the first one we did was f of g. This one's g of f. Okay, it can go either way. So please look at this. This is your outside, the g of x, and then f of x is your inside, right? So step 1, what do I do again? Which is what? So we're going to copy the outside function, which is g of x. Go ahead and write that down. G of x equals x squared. If you automatically start writing your f of x, you might do all this work for nothing. Okay, so please be careful. If they start with a g, you write down the g of x. Okay, so g of x equals x squared. What's the next step? Remove the x. Okay, so rewrite it without an x. I would write it with a little bit of. Well, hold on. Hey, watch this. Ready? Don't blink. Ready? All right, go on. So leave a little space. Okay, when you write, so you have enough space to write in the space. Okay, so g big parentheses space equals big parentheses space squared. And again, the inside function is f, so f of x is going to go right there. Square root of x is going to go right there. Okay. So you are composing, making a composition of functions. So when I replace that, it's going to look like this. G of f of x equals square root of x squared. Okay. So replace the functions. Now, step 4, we're supposed to simplify. So let's see. I know some of y'all had an amazing math teacher last year. So y'all should be able to do this super easy. So y'all tell me, square root of x squared. What does that simplify to make? My man. All right, x. Square root and square are inverse operations. And if they're opposites like that, they cancel out. Okay? Does that kind of ring a bell? Square roots and squares cancel out. Okay, so it's like this. Goodbye, goodbye. And now you just have x. Okay? See, you did have a good teacher last year. That guy should get a raise. All right, so step 4. You're left with g of f of x equals just x. Okay? Right? They should give me. At least I got a sign, right? I had to make my own belt. They didn't give me it, you know. I should wear it, right? I should like walk around with it. Should like yell at people like, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. That would be so
When y'all are like out in the ditch doing your senior meetings, I'm like, "What are y'all kids doing?"
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. All right. So, all right. Now, here's what we're gonna do. I want y'all to try example 3 on your own because I need to talk to some of y'all. So y'all are gonna try this on your own, and then last couple minutes we're gonna go over the answer. But I bet y'all can do it on your own. Notice, what is it asking you to do? Right here. Both. Okay. F of g, where g goes into f, and then g of f, where f goes into g. You're going to do both of them. That's why there's 2 columns there. Okay. So you try it. It might be a little complicated, but you should be able to at least get to step 4. Now you might get stuck on how to do the simplifying, but that's fine. So I'm going to give you some time to do that because I need to talk to some people. Okay. Doing f of g of x. So first you write the f function. Okay. I guess they're going to show at the same time. So on the first one, you write the f function. On the second one, you write the g function. Okay. So step 1, I write my f function. Then I remove the x like this. Goodbye. And then I'm going to replace these blanks with g of x and x minus 3 over 2. Now, take a look at this. I know that looks a little complicated, but we removed that x, and we had to put this entire thing where that x was. Okay? Now, simplifying that is where it might get a little complicated, but if you do PEMDAS, parentheses, you distribute that 2, it cancels out. The minus 3 and the plus 3, those add up to nothing, so you have just x. Okay? Okay, so it depends. I think some of the computation may have been off for that. But this 2 out here and this 2 down here, those are opposites that cancel out. The minus 3 and the plus 3, those are opposites that cancel out. So you should just have x. It's also similar for g of f of x. So the g comes first, g of x, replace the x with your f function, and you would also get x. Okay, so make sure you have both of these down. Right, friends? Okay, so everybody, I know this is a complicated, more complicated problem, but the steps are the same. Write the original, get rid of x, replace with the other function, and then you got to simplify. You have an assignment on this tomorrow, so keep your notes, and I'm sure y'all will do great on this assignment. All right?